What's going on with y'all boys, man? We locked in. Man. It's time to lock in. We got a game this week, Sunday Night Football. As you know, our primetime woes should turn into primetime W's, man. We wanted to turn up this week, man. Shout out to everyone that's in the building. We got a special treat tonight. We got a fellow guest in the building, man. Shout out to Omega already in the chat. Appreciate you saying what up, Juke and TP. Fee, fa, fo, fum. Hey, whole lot of energy. Hope having on. Hello, Juke. Appreciate you. See Ramos, what's going on? Listen, man. Not only do we have the Giants coming off of a big dub against the Seahawks, not only do we have that, we got the Bengals coming into town, 1-4 Sunday Night Football. Listen, we're going to talk about in this live stream, but we got no excuses. No excuses to take care of business today. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. But I got a special guest on the pod today. My guy, TPWAY the Giant. If you don't know who he is, man, you will know who he is by today. Because trust me, you're going to hear from him. And also make sure y'all subscribe. We got the link in the description as well. I'm going to bring my guy on. TP, what's happening?
Yo. What's the word?
What's going on, my guy? We already got a lot of FIFA foam action.
I see it. I love it.
People about it this stream if they don't know it.
Yeah, man.
Good, man.
Look, man, I'm on cloud 9 right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. Listen, I'm one of those guys that I turn up, man. I turn up when we are in the picture. You're gonna hear from me. You're gonna feel me, and that's just what it is right now. So until we hear that fat lady singing, you gonna get that energy from me, and that's how I feel right now, man. That's what it is.
Hey, that's what we love to see, man. As you know, with being a Giants content creator, but also just being a Giants fan, this team has just getting loud. You know what I'm saying? Like whether it's good energy, bad energy, whether we're talking about Daniel Jones, whether or not, you know, it turns some people up, man. And best believe we're going to be talking about that today. Let me catch up in the chat real quick while we get the chance. Omega, appreciate you saying next man up. Aziz got to step up. Our pass rush is the key this week. Big facts. We got Hope you're staying safe in Milton. Hey, we live right now. So if we live right now, that means the hurricane didn't touch us like that.
Yeah.
Appreciate any of the prayers. And shout out to God, man, because all in all, like I said, it was supposed to be a crazy hurricane. But hey, we're live streaming less than 24 hours after the storm, man. So we good over here. TPWAY, what up? What up?
My guy Omega.
Peace. Him saying, will the Giants upset the Bengals on Sunday night? Hey, we gonna pack it. For sure. And I'm trying to get a Neighbors 100th anniversary jersey before the end of the season. Is that a Neighbors one you got on right now?
This is Dex, man. This is Dex. You know, I had to get this before the season started, and at the time, you know, Neighbors couldn't decide what number he wanted, so I had to show some D-line love and get the best player who I feel like is on our team is Dexter Lawrence. So
most definitely, and I think personally for me, I mean, I want to get a Neighbors one too. I kind of have a little bit of hurt when it comes to getting certain players, man. Because I know 2 Saquon jerseys sitting in there right now. I still haven't patched up Singletary over it. So let's just say I'm a little hesitant at the moment, but I think I'm gonna have to get a Neighbors one soon, man. But first question off, man. Let me ask you before anything, man. So as you know, the Giants starting off 2-3 right now, coming off a big W against the Seahawks. I don't know about you. I didn't have the Giants winning that game against Seattle. Of course, we get our feelings, and I even saw you talking about it. I think it was on IG. You were saying I could see, you know, an upset. I'm not calling it an upset, but I could see something happen.
Yeah.
Let me know, man. What's your thoughts on the team right now as we're coming off of this W and where we're headed right now?
Man, so honestly, I am kind of outspoken when it comes to how right I've been about this season, right? So don't get me wrong. There has been times when I have been completely wrong and I have to get in the corner a little bit and just be quiet. But when it comes to this year, I have been right about a lot of things, and I hope that I continue to be right. One of those things was even going into that game, man. I had a pregame show, and it was just very encouraging to see a lot of the things that I thought were going to happen. I definitely think this team has the tangibles, man, to really do something. We we've kind of had a issue with just knowing how to win.
Mhm.
I think that's something that just comes with time. I think as the season goes forward, you're going to see better football being played. But as far as just a team that is just capable of doing that, I feel like we got it, man. I really do. I feel like we got it. And so that's why you see the energy that I have. That's why you see it, oozing out of me the way it is, because that I feel that way. You know what I mean? And until proven otherwise, I'm gonna keep carrying it like that.
Hey, and that's big facts. I think, like, all in all, heading into the season, right? I mean, we had our predictions prior to the season starting. For me personally, I had us winning those first two games, and we didn't. Starting off 0-2, I said, man, this could get ugly real quick.
Yeah.
This could get ugly really quick, because all offseason we're talking about this gauntlet that we got to go through with the Seahawks, with the Cowboys, with the Browns, and all these different teams. And we still have a couple of those teams coming up, but it doesn't look as rough as we thought it was. I mean,
man.
Who was gonna expect those first two W's to be against the Seahawks and the Browns heading into the season? I'm a big believer on, you play the games for a reason. Anything can happen any given Sunday. It's hard to predict it. It's hard to really talk about it. But I even spoke on it. I mean, the last time we played in Seattle was when we upset them with Colt McCoy. A couple, like, we're talking about five years back, probably right now.
Right.
So thinking about like that happening years ago, there's always a chance to beat these teams, but it's hard to really like gauge on that. I think the defense is starting to really come into its own. I think offensively we're starting to click a bit as well. I love what I saw last week without Neighbors. So knowing we could produce like that without Neighbors, hopefully he slides right in, which, I mean, that's got to be a topic. I don't know if Neighbors is going to be there this Sunday. I think we need it bad. But all in all, man, like, once again, the Bengals, we thought we're going to be a tough team. They're 1-4 right now, and they're looking at us like, hey, if they don't win this game against the Giants, I mean, their season's over. So, I mean, even thinking about it for us, as much as, we're playing kind of with house money at this point. We're last in the division right now at the bottom, but there's a lot of games to go. And I think there's definitely some time to turn things around and hopefully continue with some energy, man. Because, like I said, if we play that way that we played against Seattle, there's no reason why we can't beat a couple teams like the Bengals and all these other guys that we got. It's just sometimes I say it, I talk about it a lot. Good teams find a way to win and bad teams find a way to lose, So that's kind of how I feel with everything right now.
Yeah, man. Look, it's so crazy because I didn't predict those early games to go the way they did, right? I definitely thought that those first two games, we were going to at least win one of them.
Yep.
So that is kind of the discouraging thing, man. But when you really break a lot of these games down, there are some games where we should have, could have won, and I feel like that is a difference between just losing games flat out, not even being in the game, like completely just not looking like you are competitive. Also, when you look at who we lost to, I mean, there are no slouches right now. There's no slouches. So I think that, those are things that you have to consider. And, even when we talk about the Bengals, I think they are another team that the record doesn't tell the full story. So, it's going to be interesting for sure. I mean, from here on out. So only time will tell.
And we're going to start diving into that, man. But, hey, everyone that's in the live stream right now, make sure you liking up the stream. That's one. Make sure you commenting in the chat, man. Ask any questions. We read all chats around here. And 3, man, if you are not subscribed to TP, link is in the description. Make sure you go subscribe over to my guy TP. And we're going to catch up in the chat real quick. G-Man looking polished. Still some minor rough edges. Hopefully we can smooth those out this week at home. We need a home win. Listen, this team plays better on the road. I talked about it last week on a live stream. I talked about Daniel Jones seems to play better on the road. And someone left this nasty comment. I'm just going to joke around about it. He was pretty much saying, like, because he knows if he misses a throw, the whole crowd is going, yell at him, watch him walk out to his car. We know we had that fiasco after week 1. So maybe he just plays more free away, but we need to see that turnover this Sunday night, man. I have to get away of the primetime woes. I have to.
Listen, can I just say, message to the Giants fans out there. Honestly, That's a damn shame, man. It is a shame that our QB1 has to even feel that way, man. Like, when he's at home, he doesn't feel at home.
Yeah.
And why should he? You know, like the video that went all around the internet where he can't even get to his car without our fan base harassing the man, talking crazy to him. I mean, we literally are shooting ourselves in the foot. And it's just like, how can we, how at this, and this is also the other side of it. How can we feel good as fans to know that the people who are involved into the Daniel Jones hate campaign to now all of a sudden, what y'all want to do? Y'all just want to forget like that never happened? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I'm just like, man, y'all should, whoever was involved, y'all should be ashamed of yourselves, man, for real. And I really do think that Daniel Jones, I've said this plenty of times before, he has this thing where he loves to prove everybody wrong. Like, I mean, when it comes to the pressure being on him, it's like he shows up consistently in those times. So I am hoping that when it comes to the narrative that is hard for him to play in primetime games and at home, I hope that is a narrative that is in that locker room so that he could also turn that around and you know, shut some of the doubters up.
100%. I'm gonna talk. We're gonna touch on Daniel Jones right after these.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Yeah.
We're gonna jump straight into it. I'm gonna be honest. We need our first home touchdown too. Hopefully, it's the neighbors, but any touchdown would be great. To think that we don't have a home touchdown, that's absurd, man. That's absurd. John saying I would love a neighbors TD. Hashtag not fantasy bias. John is a Vikings fan, so
okay.
I told people don't start neighbors week 1 because I didn't know what to expect, and then he ended up producing. Neighbors should be a starting, and I'm not no fantasy guru. You know, don't blame me if y'all lose, but neighbors should be starting every week, y'all. I don't think y'all know that if y'all don't know.
Definitely.
With the recent trade talk of Slayton, what are y'all opinion on him? Let's jump right into that, man. Slayton is not getting traded, y'all. Slayton's not. That's what I think is going to happen. I think you're not going to get the value that you want with Slayton overall, especially what he can do. I mean, if you look at it, without Slayton this week, without neighbors, we're not winning this game. I mean, he was taking the top of the defense. You know, he has it in him. And overall, I think, and maybe we'll touch on Hyatt a bit. You know, a lot of people want to talk about Hyatt. Overall, man, there's a reason why he's not getting. He got some reps now, and he's not getting no targets at this point. I mean, there got to be a reason why. I don't think it's just Daniel Jones has it out for him or the coaches have it out for him. Wow. So to think Slayton being traded away and relying on other guys like that, man, Slayton's too talented. And if we're not getting a 3rd round pick, you know, hang up the phone. That's what I think personally. If somebody does, then we might be able to talk about it because, I mean, 3rd round picks are pretty valuable. You can hit on some starters with the 3rd round pick, and with Slayton being on the last year of his contract, why not? But what you think on Slayton overall, man?
Yo, listen, going into the season, and I always say that Slayton is one of the biggest like keys to this Giants offense. We have to understand this receiving core is super young. And technically, Slayton is considered like the vet of the group.
100%.
You don't want to lose that. And you made a great point, man. When Neighbors is out, he is back in that number 1 role. And the Seattle game was the perfect, example of that.
Yep.
Not only that, I think people need to start understanding that he might be our biggest deep ball threat.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's some things that need to be, worked out when it comes to Neighbors connecting with him down the field. But as of right now, Daniel Jones and Slayton connect best down the field. So why be so eager to get rid of that? And then, of course, listen, I understand that Slayton has his moments, right? I get it. Slayton. Yo, there's this theory that I have that Slayton, when he's in that number 2 role, it's like his powers are stripped away from him or something. I don't know the science. I don't understand it. But when he's in that number one role, it's like he taps into a whole nother mindset, and he has games like how he had in Seattle. So I understand that aspect when it comes to him. But all in all, man, he's just too important for our receiving corps to even consider trading him this year.
Yeah, man. I think what goes underrated, we haven't talked about it, but his connection with DJ. I mean, they had a connection ever since their rookie years together, like, so to get rid of that, which one thing, obviously Neighbors is still, if he's in the offense, he's going to get all the targets. He's going to get majority of the targets, still get more than Slayton, probably get more production than Slayton because, as you see, he's a weapon. But to lose a guy like Slayton, once again, if the value is not there with it, I just don't think you give up on him just because, I understand we might be in a seller's position, but ultimately you got to get good value. And I think you might not get what you want with that. Eric Gray, hold on to the ball. That's my thoughts on that. Screw that. With Burrow being known to throw the ball so much, I believe we'll get our first interception of the year. Banks, I'm talking to you. Hey, Banks got a big task heading up this week for sure. Trade Hyatt for Bryce and let Bryce sit. I don't even think they would want to do that trade. And we're talking about Bryce Young. Once again, another quarterback that we could be speaking on, but we'll see. Michael, appreciate you for the chat though. And Paul saying, is Kayvon really out 4 to 6 weeks? If so, Azeez will step up, and it's almost up to almost sacking the QB. LOL. Hey man, I just dropped the video on it yesterday. Kayvon out of nowhere, we wake up with surgery news, and he's gonna be sidelined. Now the time is not detailed yet. Dan Duggan tweeted that injury is normally 4 to 6 weeks. Could be more, could be less. We'll see what it is. But overall, man, that's such discouraging news because I think Kayvon, once again, with a lot of people don't like to see not a lot of production out of him in terms of like if the sack numbers aren't there, he's not doing anything. But I think he's been actually pressuring the quarterback pretty well. And if you're looking at it, I mean, I don't look into the advanced statistics, but I think he's been out there a little bit more like of an eye catch than Brian Burns so far. So losing him is going to suck. Hopefully Azeez steps up a bit. And once again, I mean, that's why you have a guy like Azeez as a backup rusher. He was once upon a time our premier rusher, and now we have him as a backup. This is his time for him to step up. And once again, he's low-key heading into a contract year, so he needs to step up as well. Sure. You got any thoughts on that?
Yeah, man. I think going into the season, one of the things that was positive for me was that Azeez was a depth piece. Yep. Like that's pretty solid to have him as a depth piece. I think he's a starter on a lot of teams, but to have him coming off the bench, also, we don't have to worry about the likeliness of him being injured when he's that depth piece for us. So that's a bonus. But now his number is being called. I know there's a few people out there who think that Azeez can produce more than Kayvon. Now, I think that is absolutely crazy, but if he could show sparks to that, look, I would love to be wrong. Like, I would love to be proven wrong, and I would love to see that. Azeez, I think, is a problem. And I think he's also playing with a little chip on his shoulder as well. So I'm not mad at the fact that Azeez is filling in that position. Trust me, it could be a lot worse. A lot worse.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, if you look at the depth we had the past couple of years, if it was Jahad Ward going out there, we know he's not producing like that. Yeah. So hopefully, definitely Azeez makes his name known, because it's never been about him being on the field. Is that he doesn't stay on the field? That's the problem. So hopefully he's a little more fresh on that. So let's touch on it real quick, man. Let's touch on Daniel Jones overall, and let you know how I'm feeling about him right now. Right?
Let's do it. Let's hear it.
I did drop a video, I believe, right after the Cowboys game. I feel like that Cowboys game was the straw that broke the camel's back, man. And not necessarily for Daniel Jones. Overall, it's with this team, right? We're always losing on prime time. We can never get it done over the Cowboys. This is what, the 13th straight win or something crazy like that. Dak hasn't lost since his rookie year. And in my opinion, I think the Cowboys this year has been one of the more vulnerable teams, like Cowboy teams that we've seen in a while. So leaving that game overall, man, I dropped a video talking about DJ not hitting on his deep balls. And once again, not to say DJ played a bad game. I think to say that Daniel Jones is the reason why we're losing games that's just malpractice. He's not. He's definitely not. But for that game specifically, man, he missed on a couple of throws. And up until the Seattle game, which I think the Seattle game, My guy was due. He showed up without Neighbors. Right now, anyone that's mad about Daniel Jones right now needs to go watch some other teams because some quarterbacks are looking like trash as well on other couple of teams. But I feel like with us being in year 6, with us being with the 3rd year with this regime, this offense is supposed to be clicking and it's not. And you see the throws that he's missing in terms of, that Neighbors deep play where he kind of had to slow down. Slayton, where the ball was right here, but you wish like he's leading him. And then the other one that gets picked off on the flag play. Those certain plays are just a place where it's like, you don't want your quarterback leaving plays like that, Like you don't want your quarterback leaving plays on the field. I want him to make those plays. I want my quarterback to be the reason why we're winning these games and not the reason why we're losing. Wasn't his fault that we're losing, but I want it to be Daniel Jones, go win on primetime against the Cowboys. Go win on primetime home against the Cowboys when, a lot of people don't believe in us. Not we're selling for a field goal every single drive. Is that Daniel Jones' fault? Is that Brian Daboll's fault? A lot of different things to tackle on that. For me specifically, after 2022, after we won that playoff game, I was on the Daniel Jones bandwagon completely. I said, I don't care what you signed him to. He won us our first playoff game in years. He balled out in Minnesota. I don't care what defense is on the field. To go out there and do that in your first performance, you got to be cold-blooded to do that. So I'm like, get him an O-line, get him a receiver. We'll be straight. We got an O-line. We got a receiver. And right now we 2-3, So to get those things and still not see the rewards, I think for a lot of us, we're kind of tired of it. We're over it. To say that I won't root for my quarterback, that's not true. I want Daniel Jones to ball. I got a Daniel Jones jersey in my closet. I wasn't one of those clowns that burned those jerseys. And yes, whoever burned their jerseys were a clown. Because, what we burned jerseys for, like LeBron left Cleveland and he got his jersey burned. We played one game of football and they were burning his jersey. That's straight up, that's bad. I wanted him to succeed overall. I want this team to succeed. And whether it's him or another quarterback, in this uniform overall, I think we all can agree we're Giants fans. So I just want to see our team win. If we're not winning, cut bait. It's cool. It is what it is. As long as we're winning football, I'm good with DJ. If we're not winning, hey, man, it might be time to depart. And we can't keep doing this every year, So everyone that's in the live stream right now, make sure you say what's up in the chat and say what you think about Daniel Jones overall. Once again, we're on the high right now. And that's the other thing before I get done. Before I get done in this little mini rant. Be consistent. That's the thing.
Come on, talk about it.
Consistent.
Yeah,
we know you can do it. And that's the problem. Like, we know you can get it done. Just go and give it to me back-to-back weeks. Go and do it 3 weeks in a row. Like, build on this stuff. And that's why I think this Bengals game is super important. Because guess what? If he shuts all those people up, wins on primetime Sunday Night Football against a 1-4 Bengals, and we're 3-3 at that point, everyone's getting behind Daniel Jones. I can guarantee that. Everyone's getting behind him. We know you can do it. Do it consistently. This Bengals team just gave up 40 points. Like, let's go out there and put up some points, and hopefully everything else goes right. So that's where I stand on Daniel Jones, man. Once again, let me know what y'all think in the chat. And TP, go ahead and let me know, man. What's up?
All right. Let me talk to the true diehard Giant fans that is listening right now, okay? Not everybody else who's sometimey and all of that other stuff. Y'all could have y'all time. I'm talking to the true diehard Giants fans. There's a guy by the name of George T. Sampson. I know y'all like, who is that? Okay. He is the inventor of the automatic clothes dryer. Okay. If you would just take your mind back to that time, right? As he's maybe coming up with this invention, I'm pretty sure that a lot of people thought that man was crazy. I'm pretty sure a lot of people could not see the vision come through. I know they like drying clothes without actually, you physically doing it, or without you putting it in the sun outside. Is this man crazy? That's exactly how it was when it comes to Daniel Jones at one point in time. Y'all could go watch my old videos before the season started. I've been a Daniel Jones guy. Through the turmoil, I've been a Daniel Jones guy. I am still a Daniel Jones guy. I have seen some of the utmost disrespect when it comes to our QB1, man. I feel like it has been absolutely mayhem. It is so easy for you to put together a compilation video to paint a narrative that is not all the way true. It is so easy for you to look at stats that don't tell you the full picture. It is so easy to follow the media that hint hint they have a job to do. Their job is to be entertaining, not to be accurate. So the media, if they can push out that Daniel Jones sucks, they're going to do that for the storyline. You have seen people on national television say absolutely crazy things about Daniel Jones, but go listen to what they're saying now. It's completely different. So it's so easy to do these things, but the eye test is the best test. One thing that we know about Daniel Jones is that he can make any throw out there on the field. Now, I know that there has been a struggle with him connecting with the deep ball. But listen, we know that he can make it happen. We know that's a throw that he can do. So why did it get to the point to where we start questioning it just because it wasn't happening exactly what we wanted to? So now I got to really talk to like the fans. Why is the expectation that Daniel Jones is the only quarterback in the NFL that has to play perfect? Juke made a good point. We watch the other quarterbacks around the league. We're about to play a great quarterback in Joe Burrow. I've watched him. He has missed throws.
Mm-hmm.
You do not see his fan base saying, "Boo, sit him." That doesn't, I promise you, that doesn't happen anywhere else. It's because we're losing. I get it, y'all, but it's lazy for us to be like, oh, you know what? We lost. Daniel Jones' fault. I understand that he may be a part of it, but to just blame him and to just harass this man because of emotions, we got to do better. We got to do better, and we have to start using the eye test. Let's get past the Viking game. Commanders, Dallas, Cleveland, Seattle. Daniel Jones has been playing good in all of those games. Why has it been so hard for people to just simply say that? The same amount of energy that y'all been putting into tearing that man down, how come the energy is not put into the rest of the team? We have wide receivers that is out there consistently failing and dropping the ball when we need them to. Why are they not being held accountable when we need them to be? Can y'all imagine if Eli Manning versus the Patriots in both Super Bowls, if he's throwing the rock and the receivers are dropping the ball? Could y'all imagine what the resume that Eli Manning would have if the receivers don't execute? Receivers have to do their job. Offensive line has to do their job. Our running game has to be suitable for us to do the things that we need to do. Let's remove the hate from our QB1 is all I'm saying. There has to come a point in time where y'all have to stop being so hot and cold when it comes to him, man. Like, I get it. I'm not saying don't criticize him. He deserves criticism. But what I'm saying is, can we have a season to where we stand behind him? And then when the season is gone, if y'all feel like, look, we need to do better, we need to move on, okay. But right now, we alive. We got things that we need to accomplish. And our fan base needs to do a better job at sticking with our quarterback and rocking with him. So that's just how I feel about that whole thing. Ran over.
Yeah. Hey, man. And I'll give you your credit once again, right? So overall, I think there's no like problem to have that type of stance. There's no issue with it, like at all. Because once again, if he's suiting up to play for us, we should be rooting for our guy. That's what it should be. People saying that Tommy DeVito should be running this team, please stop it. Like,
Yo,
please,
that's
like,
that's crazy.
he's not even probably the second best. I mean, I don't know. Drew Lock looked pretty bad in the preseason. Drew Lock looked pretty bad, but he's probably not even the second best quarterback on this team. Like, there's no way if you want this team to succeed. And once again, like a lot of people, some people want this team to lose. Some people want this team to lose games so we can get a franchise quarterback. I know sometimes that's majority of the time that's how you go get a QB. You got to lose a lot of games. But I'm sorry, I'm not rooting for us to lose.
Come on, man.
I'm not rocking Giants fitteds. I'm not wearing jackets like this for a team that I want them to lose on a Sunday. That doesn't make sense to me. And for me, once again, regardless of how I feel on Daniel Jones, I want a new QB. I want to go win on Sundays, man. That's all I want. Because once again, if not, guess who's still going to be the laughing stock of this team? I mean, even for the people that want QBs, and once again, even a couple weeks ago, I'm talking about certain good QBs that I'm leading on, right? Or I'm looking at in NC and in college right now.
Right.
When I touch on certain things, are we sure we're gonna hit on a QB as well? Like, are you guys ready to draft one, go through those growing pains, and possibly miss as well? Like, those are all possibilities. Like, being 6 weeks in, once again, we'll have a lot more quarterback talk once this team. Let's see if this team is going to be down and out for the rest of the season. We'll see about that, and we'll talk about that when that comes. But for now, man, once again, I don't think there's no issue to root for Daniel Jones. I just think, like you said, criticism is, for sure favored, and he deserves it,
And let me also say this, Jugu, not to cut you off.
Yeah,
but you said something that just sparked a thought also. Yo, can we quit trying to be like everybody else? Like, please, y'all, please. Like, I know the Commanders right now, they're on a hot streak, and y'all looking at Jaden Daniels, and y'all like, oh, man, that's what we need in New York and New Jersey. Stop, y'all. Stop. Like, let's be us. Let's be us, man. For all of the young Giant fans that is out there, historically speaking, that's not our brand of football, man. And y'all have to understand, you don't need a phenomenon at quarterback to win games. That may be how some teams maybe get the job done for them, but that's not there's 100 ways to skin a cat. Again, when we go back to the Super Bowl years, Eli Manning wasn't considered the best of the best as far as talent-wise is concerned. Nah, we had a phenomenal defense. We had dogs on both sides of the ball. We just had a certain aura about us that we just knew how to win games. Simple as that. We never have been the most talented. So let's be us. I'd rather us be us than trying to be like the next shiny toy, y'all. So keep the eye on the prize, y'all. Don't get distracted on everything that is glittering, all right? Let's be us.
I'm gonna get through the chat, and then I'm gonna ask you one more question on DJ before we jump off of it. Shout out to Purple and Gold Bars. Appreciate you for jumping in. Hey, man, one of the guys that keeps checking up on us even after the Vikings did what they did. But hey, they're doing it to everybody. The way we felt about DJ after week 1. I mean, like I said, that was probably one of the worst feelings. People were burning jerseys, all that stuff. But go look at what the Vikings defense has done to all these other teams. Those quarterbacks have looked bad.
Yeah,
really,
man.
Those Vikings, hey, bro, I'm going to tell you. I told Vocal Vike when I was live with him, I said, who knows, man? Maybe the Giants and the Vikings could be in the playoffs by the end of the year. Did I believe it 100%? Maybe not. I don't know. It's really early to tell. Right. I would have never told you they'll be undefeated. And I think a couple of the Vikings fans, they might have not said the same thing either. When DJ is up, we are up. So DJ needs to stay up and competitive for sure. No mess, no nets, no jets. What's good, my guy? Appreciate you for joining in. I can co-sign on TP having DJ's back through thick and thin. I think that's all like we should be, right? So this is my last question touching on DJ, and then we'll jump into the matchup with the Bengals. So let's say the way DJ's playing, let's say he continues to play like this, right? But we don't win games. Let's say we don't win. We're out of the playoffs. I don't even know our record. Let's say we win 7 games this year, miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
Do you feel like with the way DJ's playing right now, is he your quarterback next year or not? What do you think?
Yeah, man, that definitely is a big question. And that's a great question, man. I'm not going to lie. There's 2 sides to it. There's my personal biasness to it because I have always grown to be that person that likes to stick stick beside a quarterback and go through the growing pains, right? And I do feel like he has I do want to win with him because I feel like winning with him is possible, for one. And two, I feel like it would mean so much more. I feel like that would be the perfect ending. Again, I see a lot in him that I don't think others necessarily see. I think it is possible to go to the promised land with him. On the other side, I'm not even gonna lie. When it comes to this fan base, I'm just so drained from even just like having this conversation that it's like it's almost to the point to where I'm like, man, if we lose, then forget it, man. Like, give y'all what y'all want. If y'all just also want a quarterback, then let's move on, because the hassle is just absolutely crazy. So I'm in between when it comes to that.
Yeah. And I think that's the right place to be in. I mean, for me, I think if we're 7-10, he's not coming back next year. And it don't matter how he's playing. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah. I can see that.
With it being the way it is, we gotta win games. We have to. I'm tired of looking at stats. 2022, guess what? He's probably gonna outplay what he did in 2022 when we went to the playoffs. He's probably gonna outplay that and still probably not have his job back. And the main reason why is because 2022, guess what? We won games. I didn't care how he was getting it done. Some people were clowning me for saying DJ is elite and stuff. Is real fans know our O-line was trash. And the receivers we had that year, man.
Come on, man.
I mean, he was throwing to Marcus Johnson, David Sills. Like, he was throwing to some guys that you don't even hear about anymore.
Come on, man.
He went to the playoffs and won. So going into it that year, like, the passing yards I didn't care about, passing touchdown I didn't care about. I cared about winning games. If he doesn't win games this year, I think it's going to be over with. If he does win games, and let's say we're in the hunt a bit, then it's going to be a decision that, hey, we don't get paid millions of dollars to make those decisions. And, you know, it's going to be a big decision for them. I'm glad we don't have to do it, and they do. We'll see what happens.
Could you imagine if he goes somewhere else, though, and kills? Yeah. I'm not going to lie. If that happens, I'm gonna feel some type of way. I'm gonna feel like,
and I hope for it for him, for his sake. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We've seen it with certain players. I mean, think about Evan Ingram. He goes to the Jaguars and he gets a bag and he plays well for them. You know, you think about a couple of the players that they leave this team and they play better. Not Kadarius Toney. Kadarius Toney is the meme for all Giants content creators. If you're not using it, use it now. I have a soundboard of him, but for some reason it's not working for me on here. We won't get it rolling soon. Okay. But that soundboard where he says, you want $1? That's when it comes to anything. Like when it comes to anything, because Kadarius Toney's the only one. And we've had his run-ins. I got a video that did pretty well with Kadarius Toney, and people in the comments were telling me he's gonna be a wide receiver 1. So it's hilarious to see, you know, where it's gone overall. Before we move on to the next thing, we gotta put this out there, and I hope to hear the right answer from you, TP. This is very important.
Okay.
Are you a Yankees fan, bro? Are you a Yankees fan? Because it can't be anything else. I'm just letting you know right now. It should not be anything else.
Let me say this. I am a Yankees fan. But I'm a fake ass Yankees fan. Like, I don't know nothing about baseball. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Like, but I do rock with the Yankees. Hey, things are sounding lit right now. Like, I told myself I do want to tap into baseball because everybody's speaking about it and everything sounds lit for New York right now. So yeah,
that's true. And listen, some people might hold me to it for basketball. I'm not a New York fan. But newsflash to everyone, I might be a Knicks fan this year, y'all. I've been a Bulls fan. But it was mainly because D Rose made me a Bulls fan. I'm a young guy, you know, so it wasn't Michael Jordan. It was D Rose for me that made me a Bulls fan. He just retired, so I feel like it's a perfect segue. Like, he's out the league. The Bulls are still a trash can. I think it's a perfect way to segue into New York and really just be an all New York guy, because I'm a Giants fan. I'm a Yankees fan, and that was the only one that kind of switched up. But yeah, man, Yankees is the right team to be. Whether you're a fake or real fan, listen, you just gotta be loud about it. You know, like,
definitely.
It don't matter anything else. Definitely try to catch up to it. Right now, they're in the ALDS. They're up right now, actually playing. So hopefully they move on to the championship series and hopefully get back to our glory days over there. But catch up in the chat before we touch on the Bengals game. We got, if he takes us to another playoff game, he may be worth a $27 million cap hit next year, and we can groom his replacement. I think that 100%. If we get to the playoffs, he's probably going to be back, whether people like it or not. Because not every quarterback take you to a playoff game, but not every team.
If we go to the playoffs, I'm definitely saying we need to bring them back. Yeah, for sure.
100%. Dead cap's 22 mil and 41. Yeah. Okay. Got you. McKinney leaving, playing well. He played well for us, but definitely right now, bro, he has an interception in every game he's played in. And I think we could all agree we didn't expect him to get the bag that he was going to get, and he did, which is a whole lot of money. So shout out to McKinney over there. If he keeps doing that against other teams, I love it. Hopefully we don't play him this year, so hopefully he doesn't do it against us. That's all I care about.
Right.
All I ask from DJ is, hey, can he be our Alex Smith? I'm sorry, I want more than that, but
I
understand what you're saying. Appreciate you, Cat, for that. Touching on Julian Love, Evan Ingram, Tony and OBJ won Super Bowls. The OBJ one hurt bad, man. The OBJ trade hurt bad, but I love to see him win a Super Bowl. And right now, it kind of doesn't really matter what he's doing right now. I think he's kind of checked out. That's just my thoughts on it. Thomas, who we talking about with Thomas here, Omega? You got any thought? Who he's talking about in Thomas? Someone that's seeing somewhere else?
Thomas. It means Tomlinson?
Yeah, maybe Tomlinson. Let me know. I'm still rocking with the Brooklyn Nets. Sorry, Omega. We're gonna pray for you on that point, man. Because once again, where is he at? No Mets, no Nets, no Jets. That's how we rock around out here, man. No Mets, no Nets, no Jets. You're from New York, but overall, I'm just a New York fan with everything. I meant Ward.
Oh, Jahad Ward. Okay.
Got you. Okay. That made a lot more sense. Don't forget Eli Apple. Eli Apple kind of had a run too. That was a crazy time in general with Eli Apple. So we were waiting to talk about it, man. We're here to preview the Bengals and the Giants, man. Sunday Night Football. Once again, coming off of this W against the Seahawks, I think the energy's there. The energy should be there, rightfully so. And I'm sorry, the Giants are opening up as 3.5-point underdogs at home against a 1-4 Bengals team. Now, the 1-4 Bengals, yes, they have Joe Burrow. Yes, they have Jamar Chase, all those offensive weapons. Overall, man, I think for the Giants, there's no excuses not to get this game done. I think we look at specifically, how we match up with our defense against their offense, and how the offense has been playing so far. Will Neighbors be back? I don't know. Obviously, I want to see on the field. I hope so. But the update we got today is not.
Yeah. No.
But with the way this team has been playing and the way this defense has showed up, I think something that's kind of going under the radar. We don't get blown out. That Vikings game was probably one of our worst games, but one of those points that they scored was a pick six. And this defense kind of limits teams to around 20-ish points. The Cowboys, high-flying offense, 20 points against us. The Seahawks, one of their touchdowns was the fumble return for a touchdown that should have been a fumble six. So overall, this defense keeps us in games, and I think their defense leaves a lot to be desired. Once again, coming off of a bad game against the Ravens, they gave up 41 points, I believe. But even thinking about it in the sense of this team lost to the Patriots, y'all. And the Patriots probably have the worst offense in the league. So to say that this Giants team, yes, they're underdogs, whatever. We know how Vegas is. We don't care about Vegas. And we know how the mainstream media is. Is Joe Burrow going to lose to Dan Jones? That's kind of what people are looking at. For me, being a Giants fan, and I think what we should all have our mindset on, this team should win this Sunday. No ifs, ands, or buts. We should win this Sunday. If you're asking me why are we going to win this Sunday? I think with the way this offense has been playing, once again, hopefully the defense gets after it. Leading the league in sacks is a big deal. 2 of those games were, I think, 15 of our 22 sacks. So, is it skewed a bit? You be the guess. Overall, we know we can get home with pressure. We know Dexter Lawrence is an all-world type of talent. And overall, Deontay Banks stepped up against Metcalf. Jamar Chase is a whole different guy, and I think Jamar Chase is a lot better. But Jamar Chase should be double covered every single play. No excuses. The way we kind of treated Justin Jefferson is how we should treat Jamar Chase. And once again, you're not going to be able to stop this offense, but limit them as much as you can. Commanders, you see what their offense excuse me. You see what their offense is doing to everyone.
You speaking the truth right now, yo. You speaking the truth. That's what happens.
You don't want me to say what I want to say. But,
look, that's why I keep this right here, y'all, because it be like that.
Crazy. But once again, overall, this defense should limit them enough. The Commanders score a lot of points, and we kept them all field goals. So hopefully we keep it a close game, and this offense gets it rolling. Hopefully Neighbors is there, but we'll see what happens, man. Let me know what you think on this matchup.
Man, listen, another message to Giants fans, because I know right now we feeling good. We on cloud 9, and I know we looking at the record and we thinking like, yo, we should go in there, handle this with no problem. I understand we should definitely win this game. We should definitely win this game. This is a game that we are more than capable of winning. But on the flip side, we definitely should go in that thing humble, and we should definitely not look at them like they are a 1-4 team. Do not go in there playing around on Sunday night, please, because let's keep it real. You know, styles makes fights. Their offense is nothing to sleep on. And our secondary right now, I think we all could agree that our secondary will be the weakest point on our defense. So we definitely have to go in there with a good game plan, and we have to go in there with an intensity, just like we came in there in that Seattle game, just knowing that there's still a hole we need to dig out of. Joe Burrow right now, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I've been watching, his games, and he's been looking official. He's been looking official right now. He's been looking lights out. I think when it comes to passing leaders, he's for sure in that top 10 range. The running game, I am not worried about at all. But again, Jamar Chase, we need the banks to close. Simple as that. We need the banks to close. And then whoever is in that secondary role, Adoree, Andrew Phillips, we need y'all to lock that side down, because even when we think about the Seattle game, Lockett kind of had him a day. So we need to have that side of the field down also. Defensively, if they mess around and decide not to double decks, it is over. It is over. You know what I mean? I have no doubt in my mind when it comes to our defensive line. I'm still waiting on that Burns game where he just has a game where he leaves Earth. It's going to come. It's going to come. And so why not versus this Bengal game? Somebody mentioned it earlier. We haven't had an interception. We had one, but we haven't had many interceptions this far. Why not? Why not? Okay, with a defensive line adding pressure, secondary. This is our game to do it. And lastly, what I forgot to mention offensively, I do not want to ever get in front of a mic and not give a giant salute to our offensive line, because they have been playing phenomenal ball, and we've been playing some very solid defensive line groups, which also makes me not worried at all about going against this one. I'm sorry. I have zero worries. I'm super confident in this offensive line. So no matter if Neighbors sits or not, with those tangibles, our offense should be moving. Tyrone Tracy, Devin Singletary, that running game should be official. So I definitely see there's a lot of ways. Oh, and time of possession, we've been killing at that. So there's just so many ways to where I feel like we should win this game, man. It's just about going out there and executing and doing it.
Yeah, man. I think you hit on a lot of key points. And once again, like this team, once again, the Bengals are 1-4, but they're not typically your 1-4 team that you go out and see, right? I mean, some may argue they're a better team than us, and we got a better record than them. But when you look at them overall, like you said, a lot of the key points that you said, it's on the Giants, man. It's not about the Bengals. The time of possession, who's that on? That's on us. I don't think the pass rush that we're going to face is going to, once again, like you touched on, really work Thomas or even really work Illuminor or even this interior. They don't have household names over there that I'm really worried about. I'm going to be honest. They got Hubbard and the guy from the Saints a couple years back. I can't remember his last name right now. But Hendrickson on that defensive line. Overall, there's not a lot of guys that scare you. DBs, who on that DB group scares you? There's not guys that should be dominating this game and that the Giants shouldn't be like, throwing in that direction or worried about,
Also, there's a rookie corner that they just had who's out for season right now. So, I mean, yeah.
I'm saying, like, it's on us. Overall, if this team plays the brand of football that we played last week, I think we should walk out of this game with the W. Joe Burrow is going to have his throws. And once again, that's the one thing that's tricky with the time of possession. I mean, they can score quickly. Wow. Jamar Chase has had 60-yard couple house calls this year. And, no matter how long you carry the ball for, they can get that in one play. Just hopefully we do our job at limiting that. And we haven't had huge plays like that go off on us. We haven't. So hopefully, once again, I think the Giants followed their recipe that they've been following this past couple of weeks. And even that Cowboys game, we didn't get in the end zone, not limited field goals. But overall, like when you look at what the offense was able to do, they were moving the ball. The defense held it down a little bit. And the time of possession, the Cowboys won that game, but we had the time of possession won. Like those are the games that, once again, we need to win those games. We have to.
Sure.
So hopefully, once again, Sunday night, if you're asking me, who's winning this game? It should be the Giants. And yes, we're Giants content creators overall, but there's no excuse if we lose this game. There's no excuses on it, man. It's going to be either Daniel Jones didn't play up to his level of play that he's been playing, Malik Neighbors and the receivers failed them, or even the defense side of the ball, they gave up too many points. There's got to be something like that, and hopefully we're on the better side of it. We're going to touch on score predictions in 1 second as I catch up in the chat. If you're in the chat right now, man, make sure you drop your score predictions. El Jefe says Giants W 35-22. Hey, if we put up 35 points, you better not lose this game. That's all I got to say.
Come on, man. What? For sure.
Ain't no way.
For sure.
Cap saying Dex has to be in talks of all defensive player of the year. Yeah, I think he definitely should. It's just, if we continue to lose, they might kind of lean away from it. But overall, I want to see him get it too, because 6 sacks so far. I think he's almost close to his career high. So love to see that out of Dex. Commanders fans still capping over their win. We won that game on the field, not on the scoreboard. Yeah, man. I mean, they should be hype overall, but once again, leaving that game, it felt like the Giants missed on opportunity after opportunity. We definitely should have won that game. But luckily we're in the same division. We'll run it back with them. No worries. And we'll be home next time. We'll probably get Rio on the channel again, and we'll talk about it. And listen, I don't care what record they are. We need to get it done against them.
That's a fact. That is a fact. We need that one.
I'm saying PFF has our own line going from 32nd in the league to 16th and rising. Middle of the pack, I think it's better than middle of the pack, but once again, I'll take it. Because compared to last year, bro, last year was a travesty, man. 31st, beginning now 16th. Yeah. So make sure if you're in the live stream right now, once again, like the stream, say what's up in the chat. Go ahead and drop the score predictions right now in the chat, man. We'll be touching on score predictions. I'll go first. For me, once again, thinking about it, the offense hasn't scored 30 points by themselves yet, so I can't go to that line yet. I'm not going to give them 30 points yet. But I think the Giants win this game 27-21. 27-21. Once again, this defense should go out there and make it hard on them. And hopefully this offense, once again, continues to build. We've been moving the ball. We just need to be able to score touchdowns. We'll get in the end zone a bit, kick a couple field goals, and overall, this team should be walking out with the W. Daniel Jones, hey, go out and win this game, and I'm letting you know right now, man, the whole Giants fan base will be behind you, man. They really will.
Yeah, man.
And even thinking about it, right? Thinking about what a place this team would be in, score prediction-wise or season prediction-wise, being 3-3 after the teams that we played. Give me the Eagles. We can start talking about the Eagles games. We can start talking about these other teams. So once again, I mean, you got to play these games for a reason. And overall, this defense has been playing a lot better. And hopefully they continue to improve. And Shane Bowen, man, shout out to him. Overall, the DBs, I think when you look at the young DBs we have, we're not extremely talented at that position. But hey, you had guys like Cordell Flott stand up. Andrew Phillips being a rookie. He's been playing solid. Hopefully he gets a little bit more run. Adoree Jackson's being a CB2 is not as bad as other people may have it. So overall, with this DBs being kind of a deficiency for us, they've been able to mask that with our pass rush. Dexter Lawrence, you already know. Brian Burns, have yourself a game. Like, there's so many ways this team should win. And if they play the way they have been, I think we'll be good, man. 27-21 is my score prediction.
I am going to go with 28-21. And the reason on why they will even get 21 is because you know how that garbage time thing works out. So I really think that our defense is going to maybe shock a lot of people, because maybe, I don't know. I don't know if everyone's looking at our defense in the same light that I'm looking at it. So maybe it may be a shock. Maybe I have the expectation that they will go out there and do their thing. Daniel Jones, help me help you. All right, help me help you. Go out there and have the same fire. Okay, tap into that zone that we see you tap into, and just do your thing, man. Be smart. Make those throws, man. Just play your game. Please do me this one favor though, DJ. Run out of bounds and just do some sliding, because I'm not gonna lie, I feel good when it happens because it's been working, but I already know, man, it's not gonna work in the long run. Like, his body is not meant to take on that type of punishment. I love the intensity. I love the fact that you bring in the boom, but we need you, bro. So slide a little bit for me. And receivers, go out there and please dominate. This secondary has nothing on you, so let's act like it. Tight ends, I hope that you're involved. Coach Dable, please let everybody eat. Everybody eat. Like they said on Paid in Full, everybody eats, B. Let everybody eat. Defensively, D-line, listen, we're no longer considered the best on paper. Let's be the best, period. Let's go out there and show why we are the best. I always say this, man. Whenever you see your team going out there having fun, that's when they're out there playing their best. Go have fun with it. I want the defensive line to be in the slightly competition with each other, and they just have fun. Secondary, linebacker play. Listen, y'all just phenomenal, man. Michael McFadden, Bobby Okereke, Marsaw, seen him out there. Keep doing what y'all doing. Help stop that run. Run to the ball. Y'all already know what to do. But again, secondary, listen, I need everybody to play their best game. Play their best game. I always say this, man. Our secondary should have an easier task when our D-line eats. But I also am just waiting on our secondary to have their best game yet. Versus Seattle, there were some hiccups, right? This game, you can't, it's the NFL, it's the Bengals. We may have some hiccups, but I need y'all to go out there and to also show the world that y'all are no slouches either, man. And I'm really leaning on Nubin, Andrew Phillips, and Jason Pinnock, man, because those are going to be the guys that is going to really help this secondary take it to the next level. Overall, Giants, man, go out there and get that win, man. Let's stop playing. Let's get back in this thing.
And once again, man, I think if we get to 3-3, winning on Sunday Night Football, man, hey, y'all go hear from us.
Yeah.
Y'all go hear. That's all I gotta say. I definitely will be going live Sunday night after. I do work that night, but by the time I get home, game will be over, and I'm going to be live talking about it. Hopefully it's about a W, and I'm sure you're going to be live, man. Hey, as we wrap things up here, let me catch up with Omega real quick. Every time I give a score prediction, we lost. When I didn't, we won, so I won't give one. Hey.
Yeah, don't do that.
Man, keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. I would appreciate that. But, hey, man, you already know if you're in the chat right now and you don't know where to watch TP, I got a link in the description, man. But TP, go ahead. Thank you for coming on. But go ahead and let them know where can they find you and what kind of content they got over there, man. Go ahead and let us know.
Yeah, man. Y'all go ahead and subscribe to me at TPWAY the Giant. I am on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So I'm trying to go ahead and build this army. Me personally, listen, I don't like calling fans. I like calling them and relating y'all to soldiers, okay? Because this fan base should be different. All right, we should have that soldier mentality when we walk in a room, they should feel us and understand how militant we are and can be. Okay, so to all of my Giant soldiers out there, thank y'all for having me, man. Giant salute to y'all. The content that I don't have over there is just bringing the energy, man. Bringing the energy. Again, I just want to say, man, the Juke is one of the guys that I watch consistently. I tell him this. We stronger together, man. We stronger together, and hopefully y'all gonna see us, do a lot of things in the future. But y'all are all Giant family, man. So let's make sure that we keep building this thing, and y'all go ahead and rock with me.
100%, bro. Once again, thank you, man. And for sure, this will not be the last time you'll see my guy TP on the channel. And who knows, maybe next time we'll rock out on his channel. Once again, make sure you're subscribing down below. I got it in the description. Make sure you subscribe to my guy TP. And Hefe says, gotta be a soldier to be in these trenches. Hey, that's the best way to put it right now, man. That's
Talk to him, Hefe.
Hey, and once again, with this whole DJ talk or whatever, if you're not rocking with us when we're down, make sure you aren't there when we're up either, because we gonna be up. Y'all know it.
Come on.
Hey, we on the way up, and we gonna be up, man. Once again, man, appreciate y'all for joining up here, man. I will catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
Peace.